On today's show on At the Cottage with Chef D, I'm going to be working with Chef Kira Reed, and we're going to be doing all about fish. We have some lake trout, we have some perch, we have some salmon, we have some amazing mussels, and we're going to pair them all together with some great salsas. Won't you join me? Kira is. Hey everybody, we're out here at the Port Severn River. Is that right, guys? That's right. Okay, it's the first time all day I got it right. And I'm here with my good friend, Chef Kira Reed from Westmount Golf Course and many other hats that you do wear. Good to see you again. Thank you for coming out to the cottage.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Have you cooked on an open flame that much?
Yeah, a couple times.
And how did it go for you?
So far, so good.
So we're going to cook some fish. Now, I have a confession. Dave and I were out earlier this morning, very early this morning, trying to fish, and we got skunked. Yeah, not even a nibble. So I phoned up my good friends from Cottles Catch Seafood, and you can go on their website, cottlescatch.ca, cottlescatchseafood.ca, and they will actually FedEx some fish to your cottage.
That's awesome.
How great's that, right?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can just have fresh fish, and you don't have to worry about the fishing part. But before that, Kira, you know, I noticed you had one in your hand. So
always.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little bit of grapefruit radler, because nothing, says barbecuing and grilling like drinking. I'm joking for those. Anyways, so we have our fire going. And just kind of want to give you an idea what we've done here is we have put some stones in the middle of the grill, so we have like a frying area because we're going to do some pan-fried perch, and then we have some amazing lake trout, and we're going to put that in some foil, and you can do it indirectly on the heat, or you can do it kind of like a MacGyverish, which we're going to do in just a second. So what I'm going to do here, Kira, is I'm just going to, if you can just watch the butter for a minute, or even put some butter in the pan. We have some clarified butter, which is just butter that they've taken all the milk solids out of, and it's just that beautiful oil, and it has a really high burning point, so we don't have to worry about it burning. So Kira, we need just maybe one more tablespoon of butter in that baby there. There's never enough butter in our lives, right? So what we're going to have today and what we're going to cook is we're actually cooking some perch, Lake Erie perch. We have some rainbow trout. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do some indirect heat on the trout, and we're also going to kind of MacGyver it. And then we're also, sometimes it rains up here at the cottage, and so we have to do some things indoors. So we're going to do a salmon with a lemon butter sauce, and we're also going to do some mussels. And mussels are always a great sharing up at the cottage and that. So what I'm doing here is we have our pan nice and hot. I'm going to dredge our perch just a little bit in flour. So I'm going to get my fingers in here because, it's just going to work that much quicker. And then we're just going to quickly dredge this. You don't put any egg on it, no breadcrumbs. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it, kind of shake it off, and put it into our warm pan, just like so. Kira, I'm going to give you the magic tongs so you can kind of keep an eye on that. I'll switch you. Okay, perfect. Now, you notice we didn't put any salt or pepper in this because we're going to make a salsa for this, and it's going to have tons of flavor. And then that way, you're going to pick up the flavor and the grate of the fish. And don't forget, this fish only takes a couple minutes to cook.
Simple and delicious.
There we go. And now, for the trout, just going to move this out of the way, is we have some foil. And we have some parchment paper, and the parchment paper plays an important role here so that your fish doesn't stick to your foil. Take the one piece of parchment, put it down like so, fold it in half, and we're going to take our fish, a little bit of salt and pepper on this one, a little bit of fresh garlic, and we mentioned earlier that you want some great Ontario garlic, some onion, and we have some roasted peppers here that you've seen on other shows that we showed you how to roast some peppers off. And so one thing you can legally burn, and still have amazing results. So we're going to fold our parchment over, place our fish in the middle of the foil. Turn it. Oh, that fish smells great, Kara.
Looking awesome.
And just fold it together. I think Kira's look a whole lot nicer than mine. And then you might use this for hot dogs, but you really don't need to. So we're going to put our fish on, and we're going to put it right on the coals. And that's going to take probably in between 10 and 12 minutes to cook.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to, and as you can just see over here, we've put in some trout earlier, and we put it in radiant heat. So the heat's kind of all around the fire, and we just moved it over. It's going to cook really nicely, and then we're going to serve it with some of that salsa over the top.
So awesome.
I think we should go in the kitchen now, make the salsa, get everything ready. What do you think?
Sounds good to me, Chef.
Okay.
Yo, check this out.
So we're in the kitchen. We've shown our viewers how to actually cook on an open flame.
Yep.
And the weather sometimes does not always cooperate when you're at the cottage, right?
That's right, you never know.
and I just want to give a great big shout out to our good friends at the Wabec, because we went there last night with our host Dave and Kathy and had a fantastic meal.
So good. Had the fish and chips. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I had the burger. But it's just really interesting because, you always think of restaurants, and we're both in the industry, and you try and make it easy for yourselves. These people do not make it easy for themselves. They come up from Brantford, they open up during the summer months, and they have to barge everything in. So he takes a barge out to grab from his suppliers, all his supplies, and then there's times where they'll get really busy and they run out of things,
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what? I couldn't even imagine it. The pressure and the stress on that would just be absolutely fantastic. So this is why we're going to teach you how to do this really easily here. So we're going to do some mussels. And we have some beautiful Atlantic salmon here. Now, when we're in the kitchen and we're trying to do things, and there's some recipes and you want to do a shortcut, right, of making it maybe a little bit simpler. And this recipe is a lemon beurre blanc is the actual name for it, or lemon butter sauce. And we're going to teach you how to make it. Kara and I are going to show you how to make this really easily. So do you want to get started?
Yeah, sounds good.
So we have some white wine here. We have some chopped up onions that you just chopped up beautifully. And I'm going to grab the pot. So if you want to put some onions in, and I'm going to put some lemon juice in. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce down the lemon juice and the white wine just till it's almost gone, and then we're going to add some 35% cream or whipping cream. And you know why.
Speaking my language now.
And the reason is you don't want to use anything less than that because it's going to separate, and you don't want scrambled eggs looking dish, and away we go. So if you want to put maybe like a cup of white wine in there.
All right.
Oh, come on. Come over to the cottage. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to add juice of 2 lemons, and this, as we were commenting off air, right?
Love
That's
that
$12 ever spent.
Love that gadget. It's great.
You can pick them up at your local restaurant supply store, or Lee Valley sells them.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
It's the only time I ever go in Lee Valley. Trish found me handsome, not handy.
Oh, handy's good too.
So we're going to take this now, and we're going to put this onto the stove. We're medium high to high, and a lot of times I'm going to say to you, don't put it on high at your stove because remember it's 700 to 900 degrees, and you tend to burn things quickly in that. So, but this is okay. So we're going to bring this onto the stove. Make sure I have the right one, because I've done that, and we all laugh, right? But we go to all these different places, and then well, how does this work? How does this work? And it just all kind of all works out. So that's done. Now, so we have some beautiful Atlantic salmon, and what I've just done, and you just trim a little bit of the side off so that you have an even cooking surface. So you let the the fine little tail, you're not overcooking and that. And the great thing is you just take them aside and you cook them off, without this, and you can make salmon salad sandwiches the next day, right?
For sure.
So I'm just going to get you to cut this in half.
All right.
And we're just going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Again, because we're going to be putting a sauce on this, we're not going to add a whole bunch of seasoning onto it. So we're just going to put it in like so. I'm going to cut one more for us.
Oh, no problem.
And then just season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm just going to quick wash my hands. So it's been busy at the golf course this summer?
It has been very busy, yes. We're full swing now.
No pun intended,
intended.
right? And you do some really cool things, like you were saying you did a Scotch dinner and...
Yeah, we've done a Scotch dinner, we do a Caribbean night. We try to mix it up at the club and keep things fresh for all of our members.
So we're just gonna add a little bit of white wine into this. It's almost like we're poaching the salmon in the oven. So up to about the sides, just make sure you just see that nicely. We're going to put it in a 350 degrees convection oven. We're not going to look at it for probably about 15 minutes because it is thicker and we want to make sure that it's done perfectly. So now, make sure my burner's on. We're going to make the mussels. And the important part of making mussels and making tomato sauce for the mussels is the sauce. And you don't want to, a lot of people just kind of tend to put everything in at once. No, you want to layer your flavors. So you want to make the sauce. So we're going to get the pan nice and hot. We're going to add a little bit of clarified butter.
Liquid gold.
And just while we're waiting for the pan to warm up, I just want to show you how this is reducing down just nicely. You just see that it's just coming up. And we're going to reduce it down till it's almost the lemons are done. And you just see, and it just smells.
Yeah, it smells amazing in here.
So our pan's warming up here. I'll make sure that I turn the right one on. Yep, there we go. See some heat coming. And then what we've done here is just chopped up some, and you did such a great job of this.
Thank you, Chef.
You must have worked with me before.
Just a couple times.
Is that we've just, again, nice and fine. That's what we're looking for. So our pan's nice and hot. We've put the clarified butter in, or as Kira likes to refer to as liquid gold.
That's right.
And we have our diced onions. Now it's probably about an onion and a half if you're keeping track at home, with probably 2 cloves of fresh garlic, right? And again, you want to make sure your pan's nice and hot because you don't want to steam the onions. You want to actually hit them and get them frying so they have some sweetness. So we're just going to put them into our pot. And you always want to hear that sizzle.
It's good sound.
I'm just going to quickly stir that around. And you never want to put your garlic in first. You always want to put your garlic in second because if you put it in first,
Gets a little bitter, yeah.
And then,
We're going to keep that nice garlicky flavor.
Exactly. I know there's a lot of worse things than burnt garlic, but
This is true.
it's up there. We're just going to give it a quick saute. And in actual time, it will probably be about 2 to 3 minutes. And the onions are just going to go translucent. And I'm just going to let you see that, just so that as you can start seeing, the onions are starting to go translucent. That's what all
Smelling good, Chef.
Yeah.
Smelling good.
Now, if you want to bring it up a notch, you could actually put some bacon in right now and go from there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with our last bit of wine. And remember, cook with the inexpensive wine and drink the really good stuff. And then we're going to take, this is strained tomatoes. Now, again, we're using this brand, but you could use any brand of strained tomatoes. I love strained tomatoes. You don't get the seeds in it. Lots of flavor. So we're going to put 2 jars of strained tomatoes in our sauce. And that's what we're making. We're making a sauce for the mussels. Then you dip some bread in it and, oh yeah.
Call it a day.
Life's good.
Good cottage day right there.
Exactly. So when you come back, we're going to finish off our lemon butter sauce. We're going to add our mussels. We're going to make a salsa for our trout.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for some serious eating.
That's right. I'm excited.
Okay, we'll see you in a couple minutes.
Yo, check this out. check this out.
Welcome back. While you've been gone, we've been reducing down our onion, our wine, and our lemon juice mixture.
Yep.
And just kind of just see how it's now all just got almost done. And it has beautiful color, and the smell is
so good.
Exactly.
Nice lemony.
Exactly. So what we're going to do now is this is where the lemon bourbon, the butter part comes in.
The good part.
Exactly. Because when you're using whipping cream, and if you would actually whip cream to the nth degree, you're going to make butter. Right? So what we're really doing is we're going to boil it down and we're going to reduce it. All the water comes out. You have the fat left, which makes the butter sauce.
Sounds good.
And this way, you know, because as you're making a traditional butter sauce, as you well know, we're whisking,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
whisking, and it can split on you really easily.
For sure.
With this, you can actually make it the day before, bring it back up to temperature. You don't have to worry about it splitting, which is really great.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So we're going to add 1 cup of cream. Now this is where we got to keep a little bit of an eye on it here because it will tend to come up, and you want to make sure that it doesn't, because
I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, it makes quite the mess. So how did you get involved in this? Because I know the story, but none of the viewers know, because you were living up north, weren't
Yeah,
you?
in cottage country. I was living
Yep.
up in Halliburton, and I grew up with both my parents loved to cook. My dad was one to put everything but the kitchen sink in, and my mom was more home cooking. And from that, my passion started. And I started working at a Thai restaurant in Minden, and from there, the rest is kind of history.
But you also had your own company where you would make
Yes.
dinners for cottagers coming up.
Cottage, yeah.
And you were like 17.
17, I started my first business, and 4 full-time employees, and we'd make dinner for the cottagers when they came out Friday, fresh hot meal for them to kind of start their weekend off right. And yeah.
So it's always kind of been in the blood, as it
Oh
were.
yeah, always.
Yeah, nice, nice. So just want to show again, this is kind of what we've been, and it's just boiling nicely now. And this is the sauce that you want to make for the mussels. You want to have a sauce, you want to get all those great flavors melding together, because then it's going to add flavor to your mussels. Instead of just kind of putting it all together and then going, you're right?
Yeah, those layers of flavors, yeah.
So I'm going to add our mussels now. We have some amazing mussels. Again, our good friend from Raw Coddles from Coddles Catch, CoddlesCatchSeafood.ca. Again, and he'll deliver right to your cottage door, which is really cool. So these are all washed mussels. They come from PI.
Nice.
And you know how we used to have trim the beards and
Oh
all
yeah,
that? Yeah,
cleaning.
And just remember, the secret with making great mussels is if they don't open, don't eat them. And just put it all in that sauce. We're gonna grab a lid. I love our butter dish.
Yeah, fancy.
Okay, so now we're gonna make the salsa for the trout and the perch.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so what we have here is we have some red peppers, some red onion, some pineapple, and some Ontario jalapenos.
Yeah.
And with the heat that we've had this year, the jalapenos are hot, like almost
Nice
Mexico
heat.
hot.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, here, you do it.
Okay,
you do it.
no problem.
Because you put it all together, and then we're just gonna put a little bit of lime juice in with that.
Okay.
While you're doing
Lemon.
that, I'm gonna bring our trout. Now, we had it out on the barbecue, and then we just brought it back in the oven. We're just keeping it warm. I'll bring it out, and we can do the big reveal. What do you
All
think?
right, that sounds awesome. Just some pineapple here.
Our butter sauce is starting to come up to a boil, which is nice.
Jalapenos.
Oh, that smells, again, nice and rough.
Nice and fresh.
Exactly. And if you want, you can add some cilantro to it. Like if you're not a cilantro fan, don't worry about it. Or
It
even
tastes like soap.
Exactly. Or even some fresh basil brings this to a whole nother level.
For sure.
Oh yeah, look at this.
A MacGyver trout.
Look at that, folks. How's that looking?
Delicious.
And you get a little bit of smoke come penetrating through the fire, which is what we're looking for.
Just gonna give this a little taste, make sure.
Okay. How's that?
Tastes great, chef. Nice and fresh with that pineapple. It's gonna be good.
Now, you might want to use a pair of tongs or spatula at home. I've burnt my hands so many times over the years that there's hardly any feeling left in them. Oh, yeah. And just see that the skin holds together nicely. And don't be afraid of eating the skin of the fish. Lots of nutrients in it, lots of great flavor in it.
Yeah, you can crisp it up. It's super delicious.
Oh yeah, we got some nice char going on that one.
Looking good.
And I love how chars come into play in the kitchen now.
Yeah, it's good to burn things.
So we have, and I'm just going to show you this. It's coming up to a boil now, and you can just kind of see that it's going to start reducing down.
Smelling good.
Just kind of show again, just so that all our viewers can see that if they're just starting to open. You want to make sure that they open all the way. So this is probably about another 2 minutes till they're ready to go. We're going to grab out our perch. And you can just see how they just kind of curl up nicely for us. Oh, they smell so good. I really hope we find a dishwasher soon. And then we're just going to take our salsa. And this is a sharing plate, so you can have lots of friends over and just kind of pick away at it.
Cannot wait to try that.
Okay, so as we all know, there's lots of people out there who want to be chefs. What is your word of advice to becoming a chef?
Go for it. If you're passionate about it, I think, food is all about passion and what's in your heart. You got to just go for it. Get her done.
Nice. So I just want to show you what's happening here with our lemon butter sauce, our lemon bourbon. See how all of that moisture is coming out through the steam? And then that way you're going to reduce down as it's still reducing. This is absolutely beautiful. And it smells amazing. And I'm getting a little bit of facial, so I don't look so old. So we have our mussels done, we have our salmon done, and I know we have a bunch of hungry people down there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we should take it down. What do you think?
That sounds good.
Or should we
Chef.
just eat it up here?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, and I'm just going to show you how the mussels have turned out, and you can just see how beautifully they've opened, and that's what you're looking for. A nice big open, you don't want them small all the way. Again, that nice little facial happening.
Smelling good.
Okay, salmon's coming out. Grab my little glove here.
Oh, yeah.
Again, beautiful Atlantic salmon. It has a little bit of the fat marbling through it, which we love. And take that out. Oh yeah. Still a little bit of medium in the middle. So, and as you're taking out, don't forget it's steaming, it's still cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Take our lemon bourbon. And now it's like, wow.
Looking good.
And the great thing, because you're using the heavy bottom pan, it's still cooking as we're taking it. We're just going to gently put it over top.
Yeah, I don't know if we should bring it down to them.
And did I mention this is Trisha's, my wife's favorite sauce?
Yeah, it looking good.
Leave that. Okay, let's take it down. Let's see how they like it.
All right.
And we go, hey, thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you,
and joining
Chef.
me up at the cottage here.
Yeah,
Can we
it's
do
been
this
great.
again?
Absolutely, anytime.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll just take it down and they'll grab some and then we'll take some shots down there.
Sweet.
Hey guys, we're done. You know, thank you for coming. Dave and Kathy, thanks again for opening up your house and taking us to the great restaurant last night. It's been absolutely fantastic. So what you have here is we have some lake trout. We have some perch, which we just pan fried as you saw on the open fire. We have some fresh mussels done in a really great tomato sauce. And finally, we have some Atlantic salmon done in a lemon bourbon or a lemon butter sauce. Dig in, enjoy. Cheers to being at the cottage. You can. Okay. You guys can dig in anytime now.
Yo, check this out.